Okay, so today I am here with Cesar, who lives in Birmingham, Michigan. Is that right? Yeah.
Hello, everybody. Yeah,
As
here in
opposed to where I was
Detroit.
born, which was Birmingham, UK. Um,
What a coincidence.
who knew there were two Birminghams? Anyway, so Cesar, before I kind of go any further, would you like to just introduce yourself, maybe tell people a little bit about what you do and how we met?
Absolutely. Absolutely, Kate. So thank you for inviting me. I mean, this is a great thing that we long overdue, to be quite honest. But I'm happy that we're doing this because it was about a year ago when I reached out to you and when I got your art. So everybody, hello. My name is Cesar Hernandez Urbina. I call myself Cesar Herubi, and I am an engineer by trade. I work for an automotive company here in Detroit, Michigan. But on the side, I just do a small startup with my brothers related to augmented reality. So, I'm a father of two kids. Victoria is 5 and Vincent is 3. And, we've been living here in the US for the last 10 years, actually. So, and I'm originally from Mexico City and my wife's Italian. So our house, it's a little bit of a mixture of languages between Italian, Spanish, and English, as you can imagine. So
So cool.
that's basically me.
That's so cool. And you say you've got
I,
this little startup, but your startup is actually really exciting. So you could, I mean, maybe at the end we can actually tell people a little bit more about that and how they can kind of find out more and stuff. So if I forget to
absolutely.
remind me at the end, so we can actually share a link and stuff for people.
Yeah, absolutely. What we do and everything. Yeah. I'll just tell you briefly about it, guys. So it's an augmented reality startup dedicated for celebrations of special events. So we're in the App Store right now, and we're still testing out our concept. And right now we're finding very interesting ideas on different use cases on how to use augmented reality for some other use cases. So it'll be fun. We'll give you more detail at the end of the interview, of course.
Uh, and just to give the layman's explanation, you can send people these super cool virtual reality balloons. So, and cakes and flowers. And so, like, you send people a birthday gift and they kind of do this with the phone, and suddenly it goes boom and it just pops up on the table or on the wall or floating in
Exactly.
the air. And it's just like so cool. So cool. So cool.
Thank you very much for that, Kate. Thank you
Pretty
very
cool.
much for that. Yeah, it's a very
Um,
interesting concept. Very futuristic, of course.
It's really cool. I love it. So we'll share the details at the end. So we met on Instagram, and I think similarly to how I meet most of my buyers, collectors, and what have you, we kind of got chatting, and we liked what we were doing, and I was really interested in what you were doing.
Yeah,
Um,
same mindset, same mindset. We were in the same, how do you say, like in the same tune, the same sync and everything when you and I started chatting about it a couple of years ago, actually.
yeah, my God, that's gone fast, hasn't it?
It's been a while. It's been a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, and no, keep going because I just remember like we started chatting and we hit it right off the bat, right? Like, hey, what are you doing? Oh, I'm an abstract artist and everything. And I'm like, oh, cool, I love your art. Let me see your page and everything. And yeah, I started digging more into your work, and I was like, wow, this is pretty cool, Kate. This is pretty cool. But at first I was probably a little bit afraid of by asking like, "Hey, are you selling this? Are you selling that? What's up with this? Do you do it for fun? Do you are actually, ship it all over the world, that kind of thing?" But it was a nice journey to have met you, Kate. And I immediately noticed a friend in you and somebody that I could share, my crazy ideas with, of course. Since that moment, we started talking. Um,
I love your crazy ideas. I'm just going to say that.
of
I don't
course.
actually think they're crazy. I think they're cool. Um, and so, what attracted you to my art? Was it, kind of a feeling or an energy or a visual thing? Oh, hi!
This is a how do you call this? Shameless plugin by Victoria.
It's a
You want to say hi,
cameo,
Victoria?
little cameo by Victoria. Hi, Victoria.
Yeah, we're probably gonna have to edit this part, guys. But this is my daughter, Victoria. You want to say hi to Kate? You want to say hi? Say hi.
Hi.
How old are you? How old are you, girl?
5
She's 5.
and a
Wow.
half.
I know.
5.5.
That's very important. The half is very important.
Yeah, and she cut her finger this morning
No.
accidentally with a small little knife.
Oh no. But there you've got a super cool bandage on it, so you know.
Yeah, and she's
Worth it
gonna
for
get
the
a
cool
lot.
bandage. Yeah.
Hi.
Oh, she's in London.
Hi.
You know what Kate did? She did that beautiful painting over there for us. Yeah, she's an artist. Victoria loves art, by the way.
Cool.
Hey, Victoria, give me 5 minutes, okay? I'll give you the iPad. I'm
Sweetheart.
so sorry, Kate.
No, it's cool. It's totally cool.
We're gonna have to edit this part. Um, so the question, Victoria, could you go upstairs, please? Go upstairs, okay? Because otherwise there's gonna be noise. Okay.
So I think so the question was how did you oh yeah. So what attracted you to my art in the first place? You know, was it a visual thing? Was it a feeling or an energy? Or, you know, what was it that kind of pulled you in, as it were?
That's an interesting question because I think it was it started as a visual thing, of course. And you know, I personally I love art. I love to follow different types of artists. And the moment I saw your circles, it was kind of like, wow, the circles are perfect. They're just amazingly and aesthetically pleasing. So I want to say it was first visual, and then you know, once you read your captions, everything that you portray in energy wise, kind of like you're a very positive person, very amicable character, and I was immediately attracted to that. And I was like, you know, you probably were very open. Like if I sent you, you know, like, hey Kate, this is gorgeous painting, you know, you would immediately respond. So you obviously get that positive energy when you chat to people, you know, with you, Kate, and that doesn't happen with many other artists, right? So started again visually, then you go into the energy and how connected we were, and yeah, that's immediately how I got, you know, to reach out and say like, hey Kate, I'm really interested in this painting that we were going to show everybody in a minute, right?
Yeah, I'd love to. And what was it about that particular piece? What, you know, was there something? I mean, obviously there was something about that piece, but what was it that
Absolutely.
made you choose that one?
Do we want to show it to everybody what the piece
Yeah,
is?
let's do it. Let's do it.
Let's do it. So this is my home, you guys. this is my corner right there where I keep all of my most beautiful and most precious memories, right? Like my MBA degree, the pictures from my daughter and my son, books that I love, some awards that I've won. And you can see right next to the chimney, Kate's piece with the golden rings. We'll probably share a little bit more in detail of that painting, but oh, I digressed. I digressed a little bit.
No, so we were just, it was just, what was it specifically about that particular piece? Was there something about that that drew you in? Or?
Yeah, you know what? I think I love the golden rings in general. I think gold is it's very aesthetically pleasing right now. I think it's coming back, right? In a few details that you use around the house. The black portion of it, you know, it made me feel like assertive, right? And it was funny because, you know, I felt like in a very confident way about when I saw that the painting.
Mm-hmm.
And when you and I caught up about the rationale, like how did you ended up painting, it you had that same feeling when you actually had it. You said like, I want to experiment, I don't want to think, but you felt assertiveness when you actually put all this the colors around it and everything. To me, when I look at it, you know, it portrayed a little bit of chaos on the inside.
Yeah.
But then the golden rings, you know, to me, it signified almost like like order. So a great energy, positive feeling to say, it doesn't matter how much chaos it's in this piece. There's order, there's a God, there's assertiveness in all of that. So
Yeah,
chill, like relax, and
so cool.
I'm very happy with it. I'm very happy every time I see it, Kate.
Oh, that makes me so happy. And what I love is that you tuned in so well to every all the energy that I put into it, you could put it out and you could feel it. And I love that, really just that kind of is it kind of amazing that somebody in London can create something and then it goes over the pond and then it's got the same energy in a different space and it's just that kind of blows my mind.
This is what we do, Kate. We sit here on the couch, and me and my wife just start staring at it, and we're just like, "Isn't that beautiful?" Every single time we look at it, it's just like, "Isn't that just beautiful?" Like, look it over, because the light will come in,
Yeah.
and depending on the time of the day, you'll see different reflections of that golden circle. It's just gorgeous, and every time I pass by down the stairs, I touch it. I try to grab that positive feeling, like everything is going to be okay. Everything is going to be okay. So it's an amazing feeling, to be quite honest. It
Yeah.
reminds me of a lot of things, but we can go into more detail
Yeah.
after that.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's just so cool. So cool. So I was gonna ask you, like, what does it do that now that you're living with it? But you kind of answered that. I don't know if there's anything else you want to add or.
When when you and I talked about it, I think we originally wanted to set it up in one of our a house that we're building up in Italy, right? Because my wife's Italian. We have a small little apartment over there that we set up, and it was kind of like meant to be in that space.
Yeah.
So we ended up having it here because when I opened it, Kate, I mean, it's just this amazing positive feeling. When we think about 2020, right? So let me give you some background, guys. I got it from Kate in 2021, about around March 2021, but Kate painted it in 2020. So imagine, right? Pandemic. There's a lot of feelings happening in those crazy months of 2020. But it was a very good year for me, professional wise. I rocked my goals at work in 2020, and I wanted to commemorate that with a nice piece. So going back to your question, Kate, every time I see it, it reminds me of that great year, right? And again, the feeling of assertiveness that everything is going to be okay, everything is going to be in order. That we went through so much, right? Pandemic wise too. Like,
Yeah.
some people went through the worst. Some people went. Fortunately, we were one of the ones who went through a very good time, and it does that for me. So it reminds me of that positive energy every time I see it, every time I pass by, every time I touch it. It's just an amazing feeling. And I couldn't put it anywhere else. I couldn't put it anywhere far away from where we live every single day.
Oh, I love that. It's so cool, so cool, so cool. Um, yeah. So I'm just trying to think if there's anything else to ask you. Like, I guess what would you say to anybody else who's maybe thinking about commissioning me or buying art from me? Oh, actually, before you answer that, I want to ask you one other question. So in terms of buying art, what's your kind of history or, like have you bought loads of art in the past? Is this quite a new thing for you? How do you find that experience of, because I know for a lot of people walking into, me included actually, walking into a gallery is quite intimidating. And actually approaching an artist can feel quite intimidating as well. So I just wondered like what your experience is in terms of historically on that front.
Yeah, but I feel the same way. Now that you mention how intimidated you can feel by art, I would say that I am that kind of guy, right? Like I'm a normal person, and I love art. I just love how aesthetically pleasing it is. But to your point, coming into a gallery and that probably art is not going to be as affordable as you think it is, right? So it is intimidating for sure. You approach a gallery, you probably know that maybe it's out of your budget and whatnot. So where I stand on that point, I started buying, small pieces for the house, right? Probably like everybody else will start like, oh, I'm just gonna buy a few pieces here for the kitchen, and I like this painting for the stairs. So I want to say that I'm a early type of collector, to say the least.
Yeah.
I bought a couple of pieces before, but nothing as beautiful as Kate's work, obviously.
Thank you.
And a couple of gifts. I've received a couple of gifts, so I could say, I like art. Um, I'm an early type of guy who's getting more and more into the collection phase, right? Because I would love to get more, obviously, but sometimes the hindrance is just that budget question, right?
Yeah.
So, um, but I'm that kind of guy that when you see something and you see that something that you love, right, you immediately go in and ask for like, hey, how much is it? Um, and you find a way, some way, somehow you always find a way to get
The thing that you
anything
really
that
want.
you want.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
people like to collect things, right? People
Yeah.
like it doesn't matter if it's art. People like to collect coins. People like to collect, a
Shoes.
small exactly. uh you name it, right? Stickers, whatever.
Mhm.
So I when people are incredibly passionate about it, then they'll find the resources to get those things that they love.
Mhm.
And so it is with me with art, I think.
That's cool. And so, in terms of value and quality and everything else, when you received the painting, like how did you feel in terms of what you'd paid, and did you feel like you'd got the value in the piece? Did it deliver on
Absolutely.
that front? Yeah.
Completely, Kate, completely. I was a little bit afraid of, you're sort of doing this on a side. You see pictures and everything is great from, digital wise, but I'm not gonna lie, right? When you purchase something online, you always have that small little, we call it like tickle, right? Like, oh, is it going to be exactly what I
Yeah.
really want, right? Is he gonna make it? And I gotta tell you, like the moment I opened your piece, it was just this huge, amazing feeling. Like, wow, I just like it's so beautiful. I was not expecting to be this much. So you totally overcome my expectation of value, Kate.
Brilliant.
And no, it was amazing. Like I to date, I simply can't stop looking at it. So I think it's a stunning piece. And to everybody that's hesitant about, reaching out to you, I would say that um, uh, take a dive in and see what else have you got in your collection, Kate, because it's really much better. It will impress you even more if you like it in pictures. When you see it in front of you, it will just amaze you. It will just wow you. It's amazing.
Oh, thank you. That makes me so happy. Thank you.
Yeah, you feel very proud of that. But yes, Kate, you should be
I mean,
feeling proud.
I always try to go like I'm deliver more than like as much and more as I possibly can. So that's nice to know that it's well received. Yeah.
Yeah, and you can see
Um,
that, Kate. I can see that you always put everything in it. So
thank you. Cool. So I mean that's I don't know if there's anything else you want to add, but I'm think that was a great great chat.
no, yeah, it was a good chat, Kate. I think for yeah, I would say for everybody that's that has a question or anything, Kate you're amazingly open, Kate. I mean, you're always willing um to listen to your potential customers, right?
Yeah.
And I remember our first conversations, like he was just like, oh, I want to get to know you, Kate, right? I want to, because at the end of the day, I feel that when you buy a painting, right, you bring that energy home, and you
Yeah.
want to make sure that your artist's energy it's right within your same symphony, right? Within your same frequency, I mean.
Mhm.
And so for anybody who's been wanting to commission out, just like I would just invite them to get to know you, right? And you'll see that,
Yeah.
yeah,
And
like
I think that works both ways as well, because for me, you know, it's like I'm giving you my child. I'm like, I've created this thing and I'm going to give it to someone else. And I love to know that they're going to really amazing homes, with amazing people. And I love that relationship. And I love the fact that a year later, we can still jump on a Zoom call and have a chat. And we can talk about where we are with our business, and you fill me in on your amazing stuff. And,
and how's the
it's
family.
awesome. And I think I can say that about pretty much all of the people who've bought from me in terms of buying from my collection or commissioning me. I think perhaps even more so with the people that I do commissions for, because that becomes such a personal experience when we actually have that interaction together, that's a something, that's a friendship formed right there. All of those people have become quite significant in my life, and we continue to chat and be friends. So and that for me is part of this. That's what makes this job so special. That's what makes it, it's why I love doing it the way I do it, and why I don't put my work all into galleries and have that, that for me, that would disconnect, and I wouldn't be connecting with the people who are actually, like you say, taking the energy home with them, and the energy is a swap, right? So, I get the good vibes off you as well. So, it's a good
And
swap.
one of the things, Kate, that you just mentioned, like how difficult it must be for you, like an artist. Like imagine you paint something, you create something that you love so much, like your kid, you were saying.
Mhm.
Now you're just like, oh, I gotta give it away. I love it so much. And I've seen some of the other work that you've done, like lately and everything, and I'm like, oh my god, that is so good. Like it must be feeling so hard for you, kind of like, oh,
Yeah,
I gotta let it go. This was one of my masterpieces. I gotta let it
yeah.
go for somebody that's gonna give it a nice home and everything. But
Yeah, but then I mean that's the thing, when it's going somewhere and the person who's buying it, then it becomes so much easier to let it go, because I know I'm gonna see it in the background of a Zoom call at some point, or and maybe one day I'm even gonna visit. So
exactly, like the
yeah,
single.
yeah,
Yes.
so cool,
Wow.
so cool. So I think that just to kind of basically wraps it up. So just before we finish, do you want to just give people some details, like how they can download your app, where they can find it, what's it called, like all of that stuff? If you can just share that, and I'll also put a link anyway in the bottom. But if you can just give people a brief where to go.
Absolutely. And thank you very much for opening that little bit door, Kate, that window. So our startup, guys, it's called Bicoco, Bicoco, and you can basically find us on iOS. We're exclusive right now for iOS. Unfortunately we're not available for Android just yet. But what you're going to be able to do is just send a cool experience for someone's birthday in augmented reality. So we have a contact information in Instagram, and through our Facebook, we have social media all over the place. But we'd love to hear your comments and your experience, because it's a concept that we're testing it out. We're probably a little bit too ahead of the where the market is right now, but I think you're gonna enjoy it. I think younger generations are really gonna be celebrating in the future with digital assets. So we can probably just put my social media, for
Yeah,
Bicoco and Instagram and
yeah,
Facebook at the end. And
yeah,
would love to
yeah.
hear how everybody's experiences with
Yeah,
the app and the
I'll
technology.
definitely tag everything in. So I'll be tagging everything in on the post. And yeah, I mean it's super cool. I mean, my kids, what you did a Star Wars one, didn't you? And
Yeah, I remember the R2D2 and the
yeah,
Thunder.
and just when I made R2D2 pop up in our kitchen, and the kids went mental. They were just like, "What? Can't believe it!" And and then you can take a sort of screen grab of it, and send it to them, and they think it's real, and it's just like super
Yeah,
cool.
thank you for that, Kate. I appreciate the feedback, and
Yeah.
it's so funny because you can actually put anything in there, create anything. We're excited for our next phase, and we hope that we're going to be uh, generating more and more user stickiness, if you will. But we'll see where we go with that.
Yeah, for sure. Well, exciting things come in for both of us, I think, So it's good. It's good times, good times. Thank you so much for your time, Cesar. Really, really appreciate it.
Kate, it's always good to catch up with you.
I'm going to end the video now. I'm going to stop the recording, and then we can have a chat.